We all love Toy Story, right? Most of us grew up with it, and more specifically with Andy. Pixar is very well known for making their audience feel very strong emotions, but it seems like they haven't really been able to succeed with that since the previous exec left. He once even called the story extremely critical. He was the reason I became a writer and the reason Toy Story made it big, in my opinion, because he paid very close attention to the characters, more so than most. Want it or not, Toy Story 5 is the best chance Pixar has right now. The last movie Lasseter worked on was Toy Story 4, credited as creative writer. As you can assume, this final closing chapter of the story, or at least that we knew at the time, made over $1 billion in the box office as well as its previous, Incredibles 2, again with $1.2 billion in the box office. If you look very closely, however, Luca, Turning Red, Lightyear, and Elemental has not made nearly what almost all Pixar films have been making the previous years. Do you remember The Good Dinosaur? Even that film made more in the box office by over $100 million. Toy Story has always been their biggest moneymaker, so of course that's what they are going to turn to. Toy Story is very important to the company for mostly one reason. It was their first film, and the first film ever to be fully computer animated and a real success story. It's almost one of the things they're most known for. Either the numbers at the box office recently, it seems like they're trying to play it safe or go for things that would have the best chance, even if we as an audience don't understand why they are stretching a franchise that seemed to have ended a long time ago. Then again, us, the audience, still had questions when it came to Andy and where he is now. Now, while the film has been confirmed to be in early development in 2023, this is the first phase of putting together a film. Before a film can get started, it needs to go through the development phase. This phase includes the creation, writing, organizing, and planning of a film project. The budget must be set, cast go through auditions, and location is decided, and multiple scripts are written. Many times, writers and directors create storyboards to entice producers to finance the film. So during this phase, they have the premise down, but not specific moments, and maybe don't even note exactly who will come into the project or return when it comes to characters. I still believe that it would make sense to bring Andy back one way or another. With John Lasseter not on the project, it seems very likely that this version of Toy Story would be very iffy, at least to me. Toy Story 5 will be the first film in the franchise that begins with Woody not owned by a kid unless something has happened since the events of 4 ended. As far as Buzz, Forky, Jessie, Rex, and the gang, they'll likely still be with Bonnie, who will have probably aged a bit, more than likely now since we didn't see her age from the end of Toy Story 3 to the whole story in Toy Story 4. Details on the plot of Toy Story 5 will likely remain a mystery until official announcements are made or until a teaser trailer releases. However, Pixar CEO Pete Docter has already hinted at a surprising direction for the film, saying, "I think it'll be surprising, it's got some really cool stuff that you haven't seen before." But I wanted to turn this around to you guys and ask what you think should or could happen, and what a Toy Story without John Lasseter would do.